Welcome back to Training Camp Tonight, powered by Ford. I'm Alexis Perry. With just 3 weeks remaining until the season opener up against the Tennessee Titans, the Broncos continue their expedited on-field installation of Pat Shurmur's offense, all the while trying to perfect Vic Fangio's defense and decide on their special teams unit. Yesterday after practice, offensive coordinator Pat Shurmur, defensive coordinator Ed Donatel, and special teams coordinator Tom McMahon met with the media to tell us how they feel this accelerated training camp is going so far.
That was our 8th practice together. So that, typically your 8th OTA is somewhere back in the spring. But I feel really good about how all our players embrace the Zoom portion of the year. Feel good about their attention to detail, their ability to learn. We go out and practice, we compete. There's always mistakes in practice, but I rarely see the same mistake twice, which is good. And normally when you compete against each other, there's good plays and bad plays. I think sometimes everybody wants to walk away from a practice and say the defense won or the offense won. I've never seen it that way. Sometimes the 2s are going against the 1s are going against the 2s. The important thing is to learn and to grow and really do a lot of the things that we're going to do during the season. And we have to quickly develop a kind of an inventory of passes that we're going to go to, runs, RPO, the things that we're going to use during the season, and do it quickly.
Hey, Ed, you've been with Vic at the second year in San Francisco, Chicago, and now here. In your experience, does he add to the scheme, or after a year, does he trim it down to take advantage of the strengths of the guys he has?
Well, the history is our defenses, because it's the third time we've put it in together. They usually spike in year 2, and because guys have a better understanding of everything that's going on. This is a unique year, and Vic he's put a lot of hard work in the schedule and the challenge to the players and staff. And our staff and coaches have responded in an extraordinary way. Just the way we work together. There's just a lot of teamwork going on between the staff and the coaches. So he's challenged us. There's hard work. It's training camp, and I really like the way everybody's responded.
We've seen on Hard Knocks that the special teams coordinator has a lot of say on the last 4 or 5 spots on the roster. Would you agree with that? Has that been a responsibility that you've dealt with over the years? And have you kind of started that process now with cut day 13 days away?
From a roster standpoint, anybody that's not a starter, we give, our cutthroat, honest evaluation. And I'll be upfront with you. It's always a video evaluation, no different than if we had a preseason. So, you start looking at the last part of the roster. To me, it's every single guy that's not a starter. To be completely honest with you, they're all so important. So we just give our opinions from the standpoint of a straight video evaluation. It has nothing to do with how tall this guy is, this, that, the other. If those guys are kicking our tails in practice, we're gonna fight for them. If we can't block them, the other team can't. So I know I'm not gonna just talk about the last 4 or 5 guys. We got about 25 guys. We have to make sure we get the right email on.
That evaluation continued during Monday's practice, which featured over an hour of 11-on-11 half-speed drills, with the first team going up against a scout team look. Now, there were some notable additions to the injury list today. Mike Purcell was out with calf tightness, while Tim Patrick, Devontae Bosby, and Elijah Holder were not able to practice today, dealing with some soft tissue issues. Coach Fangio also informed us today rookie inside linebacker Justin Sternad will miss the 2020 season after undergoing wrist surgery today. But for more on the guys who showed up and showed out on day 9, let's send it over to Matt Boyer, who is standing by with the Hall of Famer Steve Atwater.
Thank you, Alexis, down here at 27 Hall of Fame Plaza with the Hall of Famer Steve Atwater. Steve, we heard about a couple of those injuries. Vic Fangio saying also in his press conference that this wasn't supposed to be a practice that we were seeing today. This was more of an educational session because of some of the nicks that the Broncos have sustained early on. This was more of a type of run-through, kind of an educational session. And how important is that going to be for some of these younger guys that are going to get more reps?
Yeah, those are important, too, not only for the young guys, but also for the veterans to kind of go through things, slow everything down. And then also at this point in practice, guys, with these injuries, they needed a little bit of a break. And this gives them a little bit of a break but they still was able to stress the mind and get the guys ready mentally for what's to come.
Did you like these types of practices, or would you rather have the pads on out there going full bore?
No. I like these practices.
You like, yeah.
We got to sprinkle some of these in. It's kind of a treat for the guys.
We didn't see a lot of ones versus ones. We saw, again, a lot of the scout team, a lot of, 1 versus 3s, or, the defense going against the scout team offense. Even though we did see that, were there some A-listers out there? Let's start on defense.
Yeah, well, on defense, I'm going with K-Jack. And again, we didn't see a whole lot out of the guys today, but K-Jack, this whole camp, he's been just a bundle of great spirit, great energy for the guys. He's been making plays, been in the right position. And if they would have had the pads on, we would have seen some knockout hits. So Kareem Jackson, Atwater's A-list today. Keep up the great work, K-Jack.
He's talking a little bit of noise out there, too.
I love it, yeah.
You love it?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Come on, especially when guys are tired. Then you can really get in guys' heads and see how they respond under pressure. You guys start talking noise to them when they're upset and tired. They start cursing you out. Like, yeah, I got you now.
Let's go to the offensive side of things now. Again, it's so hard to, pick a guy because it wasn't full pads, it wasn't, full bore, but who do you got on the offensive side?
Well, Royce Freeman has been impressing me really the last several days of practice. He's looking faster than he was last year. He's running hard. He's got the pep in his step. And, when he runs down, scores a touchdown, he runs all the way back. Just doing some great things, great habits. I'm looking forward to seeing if he's made a jump from last year.
Do you think he can kind of work his way in with those ones a little bit more? Because Melvin Gordon, still kind of working his way back from that rib injury. Coach Fangio is saying that's a day-to-day situation. Do you think we're going to see more of Royce as we move through training camp here with the ones?
Definitely so, especially if, there are more injuries. If Melvin Gordon or Philip Lindsay gets banged up or the coaches want to give those guys a break, hey, we certainly can. And, we're going to see some of Royce Freeman throughout the season as well. Even if, both of those guys are healthy, we're still going to see some Royce Freeman. And I'm liking what I'm seeing.
A lot of big decisions upcoming, Steve, with regards to those position battles. The Broncos have one more day of practice for an off day Wednesday. And don't forget that practice at the stadium, finally a game-type atmosphere on Saturday at Empower Field at Mile High.